also another Snow White that I think you guys want me to talk about. I am sorry that has not been addressed sooner, but I just want to say, from me, that's really all I can say. Which honestly kind of seems like maybe this path that I'm taking right now is the path that Rachel Zegler should have taken instead of just running her mouth.
It's extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
All right, some entertainment news. Snow White releases today. It's currently sitting at 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the critics score. So, you know, this thing has to be really, really bad. I mean, the critics were looking for any excuse to give it a high score. They know that conservatives don't like Rachel Zegler. They know that Zegler, you know, is a good little feminist. This Snow White version is woke and feminist and progressive. So mainstream film critics want to like a movie like this. It checks all the narrative boxes, it checks all the political boxes, and yet they're still panning it. Like, even they couldn't find a way to pretend that this piece of trash is anything but a piece of trash.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated.
Rachel Zegler blames Bret Cooper after Snow White box office bomb. In Hollywood, casting shifts and fresh approaches often ignite heated debates among fans. The latest story is about a film called Snow White. Many viewers were shocked by the movie's dismal revenue. Theaters quickly became empty, and the movie did not make the money expected. It soon became known as one of the biggest box office failures in recent times. Rachel Zegler, a popular Latina actress known for her role in West Side Story, was initially selected to portray Snow.
Do me a favor, go to IMDb and just type in Snow White IMDb, okay? Watch this here, folks. Go to Snow White. Look at the reviews. You know, look at how many reviews there is. Zoom in if you could, Rob. Does it show you or no?
562 user reviews.
No, that's not the one, Rob. It's if you go, there's 163,000 reviews, Rob. 163,000 reviews. I just texted it to you. Yeah, right there. Zoom in right there. That's it. 163,000 ratings, of which it got 1.6, not out of 5. Like, you know, sometimes you go to McDonald's, it's 1.6 out of 5. Yeah. 1.6 out of 10.
White, later, changes in the project led the team to pick Bret Cooper instead. Bret Cooper is a prominent conservative YouTuber and host with The Daily Wire. She was chosen to star in another version called Snow White and the Evil Queen. This choice sparked intense discussion and divided the audience. The main issue is the film's very poor performance in theaters. Even with backing from a major studio, the movie had issues from the outset. It earned about $43 million during its opening weekend. Many believed that figure would lead to success. However, in just a few days, fewer people went to see the film. By the second weekend, earnings fell by
Snow White and
nearly 70%, and most theaters were almost empty. After 2 weeks, the movie made just over $120 million globally, which did not meet the lofty expectations for a high-budget film. The movie's failure is viewed by those in the film industry as a significant setback for the studio. They believe that neither the message nor the style of the movie connected with audiences. According to some analysts, the poor performance is not merely a sign of one film's problems. It may also prompt studios to rethink how they adapt classic tales for modern viewers. During the controversy, Rachel Zegler openly shared her opinions. Instead of accepting accountability for her part in the film's flop or staying silent, she blamed external factors. She particularly pointed to the new version with Bret Cooper as causing confusion in the marketplace. In several public statements, she questioned the timing and choices behind both versions of Snow White.
The more that y'all try to make me hate Rachel Zegler, the more that it's not gonna happen. Rachel Zegler has been getting dragged all across social media, and multiple articles coming out trying to say that she is the reason why Snow White is not doing well.
According to her, the film did not do well for reasons beyond weak storytelling or marketing. She highlighted other influences as the cause. Critics have argued that by blaming Bret Cooper and The Daily Wire, Zegler sidestepped confronting the issues directly. Many fans expected her to acknowledge any errors that might have contributed to the film's outcome. Instead, She stood by her views on updating classic stories and defended her long-held beliefs about giving Snow White a modern twist for today's world. Bret Cooper is on the opposite side of the debate. Her casting in the Daily Wire's version stunned many in the industry. Her approach sticks to the fairy tale's classic themes. It focuses on kindness, love, and inner beauty. Her project is seen by some as a counter to modern retellings of the classic tale. Her approach, though, has created divides among fans, who disagree about the best way to tell the story. Cooper recently stated that her film honors the original values of Snow White. She explained that her version will be a faithful retelling of the story without the alterations that have upset many longtime fans. For her, the aim is to present the story as it was intended to be told, without extra messages that might seem too political compared to other adaptations. The argument between Zegler and Cooper stems from their differing perspectives about art and storytelling. Fans of Rachel Zegler value that she openly expresses her thoughts. They appreciate that she challenged the changes made to a story that many people cherish. They believe her viewpoint is relevant in the contemporary world. Supporters of Bret Cooper, however, value her decision to adhere to the original story. They argue that classic fairy tales are timeless and don't require modern.
Most rated movies on IMDb. What are the worst rated movies on IMDb?
Probably Ishtar or something like that, going back.
Bottom of the, what is it? I mean, I'm going through some of these lists here. 160-something thousand reviews. Maybe it hasn't updated yet. With a 1.6 stars. Absolutely embarrassing for someone. And did you see the clip of her at the theater watching it by herself? Have you seen that one or no? I don't know if you saw that.
I think I saw a brief little.
Yeah, Adam, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think there's a common theme here. I think the Democratic Party and Disney are attached at the hip. So I think there's a common thread with approval ratings and the stock price of what's happened with the Democratic Party and with Disney. You know the famous phrase, go woke, go broke? Right now, Disney, their big blockbuster movie has plummeted. Much like the Democratic approval ratings reached, I think, an all-time low at 27%.
Adaptations. They believe that the movie's poor box office performance shows that audiences prefer films that focus on delivering a compelling narrative. Both sides agree that the essence of the original work should be respected in a live-action adaptation of a cherished classic. Unfortunately, the overall message, casting choices, and marketing in this case fell short of expectations. As a result, the film and its actors have faced intense criticism. The debate is now even more heated thanks to social media. Many viewers shared their opinions online, with some supporting Bret Cooper and others defending Rachel Zegler. It's widely noted in the comments that nobody has taken full responsibility for the movie's outcome. The loss of the film's connection to a simple, engaging plot disappoints viewers. The original 1937 version of Snow White was created in a different era, according to many online discussions. They contend that any changes to the story, whether by Disney or the Daily Wire, should honor the original material. When either version appears to neglect the heart of the story, it leads to more disputes and confusion among fans. The poor outcome of Snow White is not just about one film. Industry insiders say that the failure could have lasting impacts on the careers of those involved. Rachel Zegler, who has faced strong criticism for her public remarks, now faces tough questions. From
Really happened with Snow White? And is there somebody that we can blame? Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot were rarely together. And if they were there, they weren't really communicating, they were taking a picture, and then they were just going their separate ways. People were going, what could have happened on this set to make this so uncomfortable? And then the light bulb moment happened. It is their starkly contrasting views on the Israel-Palestine conflict that they have been extremely vocal about for the last year and a half. Now, Gal Gadot is obviously, she is from Israel, she is staunchly pro-Israel, and Rachel is incredibly pro-Palestine.
It's Hollywood, baby.
And so obviously, in 2025, this is a recipe for disaster.
film studios. Rumors indicate that her connection to the project and her recent social media posts might make it harder for her to land future major roles. Bret Cooper now faces a scenario where her film is viewed as a bold cultural statement. Some say her straightforward approach could open new opportunities, while others believe that the controversy might later force her to defend herself when new projects arise. The debate over who truly owns the Snow White legacy is expected to persist long after the films open. The film's dismal performance is prompting people to reconsider how studios select their stories. Filmmakers now face a choice: continue chasing current trends or return to focusing on simply entertaining the audience. The lesson from Snow White is that merely following trends and using a politically charged message does not ensure success. Because of this, some industry experts believe that future films will need to revert to straightforward storytelling. Instead of experimenting with modern political themes, studios will opt to focus on what made these fairy tales beloved in the first place. This will help both modern adaptations and classic remakes succeed by concentrating on delivering a clear and heartfelt story. The situation with Snow White is now more than just about one film. It reflects today's audience expectations, casting, disputes, and the challenge of balancing new perspectives with a classic tale. Now discussions are ongoing online and in film meetings. So both Rachel Zegler and Brett Cooper will need to strive to shift the negative perceptions about them. Critics, fans, and studios are closely monitoring their future projects. Many people hope that lessons from Snow White will lead to wiser decisions and versions that honor classic stories while still appealing to today's audiences. Every choice regarding message and casting is critical in the fast-changing film industry, especially when it comes to tales that many people hold dear. Thank you for watching this video. Please share in the comments which version of Snow White you think best captures the original story. Stay tuned for more updates and clear discussions about what is happening in Hollywood today.